State regime media, which calls itself Fox, just gave away the game. Their propagandists are terrified that Donald Trump will be impeached when Democrats take over control of the House after the midterms. And Laura Ingraham, one of Trump's top propagandists, said, no matter what happened with this war, with this catastrophic and unlawful war, we just have to rally around Trump because we can't have him impeached. That would be devastating for state regime media and our entire propaganda network. This is what Laura Ingraham says. She goes, let's just be real here. Let's not even listen to the facts. We just have to save Donald Trump from impeachment. Folks, you don't get much more regime media than this. Let's play this clip.
It'll be boycott all the way. Donald Trump's not for appeasement. We saw that. He's for pragmatism. Americans want a common sense conclusion to this conflict. Trump knows too well what happened when the last Republican president allowed a war in the Middle East to sink his approval numbers. As the war in Iraq dragged on in May of 2006, Bush's numbers had slumped to 33%. At the time, that was tying an all-time low for the ABC News Washington Post poll. So continuing to bomb Iran and hope that it would force the regime to wave the white flag? It's not a gamble that Trump thought made sense for us or for the region. And I understand it may temporarily placate the Pence crowd, but would also risk the midterms and thus another impeachment, and thus it would flush the entire Trump agenda down the toilet. From immigration, the border, tax, and trade. That would not only be a political tragedy, it would be really, really stupid. And that's the angle.
More from Laura Ingraham right here. And she said, and look, Donald Trump brought peace to Gaza. The ceasefire's working. No one's getting killed anymore over there. Donald Trump actually has worked miracles. No, it's a fake ceasefire in Gaza. There have been over 1,000 people, women, children, killed in Gaza since Trump announced the fake ceasefire. Things are not better. But here's what Laura Ingraham says. This is what propaganda looks like, folks. Let's play this clip.
Of energy, experts from Treasury, experts from agriculture that are going to actually hammer out these details at a technical level. And then one other thing about the naysayers out there on both sides of the aisle. They doubted this team that we could get all of the hostages out of the tunnels of Gaza, and they did, both alive and deceased. Aid is flowing back in. A ceasefire is in place. They doubted that we could take care of the Maduro regime. Guess what? He's in jail right down the street from me here in New York. So I wouldn't doubt this team. Everybody likes to. But at the end of the deal, at the end of the day, President Trump drives a hard bargain. And again, I just can't overemphasize what we never had before was a credible threat of military force to back up our diplomacy.
And then she says, listen, Republicans, no matter what you feel about what Donald Trump did with Netanyahu and then what Donald Trump did with this memorandum of understanding, you just gotta, for the next 4 months, you have to just blindly support whatever our dear leader does. You have to rally around the Fuhrer because we can't have people protesting Israel the way people protested South Africa in the 1980s. We need to avoid that. So if you really, this is what she goes, I'm going to play it for you. She goes, if you really care about Israel, what you have to do is go along with this MOU, pretend you like it, fake it, and then after the midterms, we can then unleash our real plan. They're like literally giving away their sicko fascist plan, these people. Here, play this clip.
The truth is, and yes, I know this, Trump's been briefed on all the options. And the one thing we know about Trump, he does not stop until he gets the best deal possible. And his decision-making takes into account the reality of all the facts on the ground, including how much runway the American people are giving him on this conflict. Now, the latest approval numbers on Iran is 21.7 points underwater for the conflict. The only practical effect of Mike Pence's scathing criticism? Well, it may actually help the Democrats. It gives them talking points in a crucial midterm cycle. Meanwhile, if Pence has a plan that will overthrow the regime and expeditiously turn the tide, then he has a patriotic duty to present that plan to his former boss. Make an appointment. Go in and see him. Or heck, just come on the Ingram Angle and tell us. So easy. Any Republican who truly wants to help the people of Iran and the people of Israel should be spending all his free time campaigning for GOP candidates over the next 4 months. Because if we turn our government over to a bunch of Democrat socialists, Israel will be treated like South Africa was in the 1980s. It'll be boycott all the way.
And then they go on with their culture wars and their fear mongering. They bring in Melissa DeRosa, and she says, these Democrats, they're parasites that need to be crushed. They're not even real people. They're parasites. Watch what she says. Here, play this clip.
His political muscle. He's backing some candidates for the primary in New York tomorrow, challenging some congressional candidates in the Democratic Party. And this is coming as some of these candidates are saying this is the beginning of a domino effect for the socialist power to go across the nation and in the Democratic Party in particular. We're back with the panel. Melissa, let me start with you. Do you see this as a major shift for the Democratic Party?
Well, first of all, they're not Democrats, right? They're socialists, and they're essentially parasites. They've decided that they cannot win on their own by creating their own party, so they are going to latch onto the Democratic Party, feed off of it with the overall goal of taking it over and killing it. And so that's...
Then you have Harrison Faulkner on state regime media, who basically echoes that dehumanizing language. And she goes, and basically these Democratic socialists, they're like Hitler. This is what Hitler did before he moved in. You see, Mom Donnie, you see what these Democratic you see how they want to help people get health care, and they want it to be free, and they want people to have better education and no data centers in their communities, and they want to make sure there's regulation to keep AI out. They want to make rent affordable and have people have high paying jobs, just like Hitler. So what Harrison Faulkner says, here, play this clip.
All of Congress and all of these progressive candidates, you're right, Harris, they outnumber the regular Democrats because that is the Democrat now. In fact, maybe we should stop saying the qualifier Democratic. They are just socialists.
They're just
socialists. And that means Democrat.
Well, and I think sliding into communism, forgive me 1 second, David, because I want to hit on what you said. This sounds like the moment just before Hitler moved in. Because Jews were told, so first they were to wear the star, first they were to give over parts of their business. It was like a mob taking over, and it seemed to be very slow. And then the next thing you know, they're being marched out of their homes and put in holding camps at first, and then and then it got worse and worse and worse. And the problem with that is, I love your analogy, is that tide just rises. It doesn't come into shore where you can run from it. It's all around you.
And then you have Sean Hannity and Fox act like the Democrats are obsessed with the reflecting pool. This is what sociopaths they are. Donald Trump has talked about this stupid reflecting pool like 10 times a day for the past 2-3 months. We've heard it 1,000 times. It's going to be beautiful, magnificent. And it is algae infested and disgusting. It's worse than ever. And now you're blaming Antifa and vandals because you're a psychotic movement of freaking crazy people. And here Hannity's like, why are the Democrats obsessed with the reflecting pool? This is why you can't even have debates with these MAGAs, right? They're a bunch of phony, fraud sociopaths, unworthy of even having conversation. They really are. Like, you don't debate somebody like this. These people are sick. They just care about protecting the right-wing oligarchy, and they're out there just to try to bait you. These are not serious human beings. These are protectors of the right-wing oligarchy. Watch what Hannity does. Play this clip.
On. All right, Christina Coleman, thank you for that report. Now, amid the challenges and triumphs across the country, Democrats, they are obsessed with a pool that actually reflects a lot more than the Washington Monument. Tonight, it serves as a reflection into the lack of a soul of a party, the Democratic Party.
Hey everybody, Ben Meiselas here from the MeidasTouch Network. I wanted to let you know about my podcast partner, Michael Popok's new law firm. It's called the Popok Firm. Michael Popok's pursuing his dream of starting his own law firm, really based on the popular demand by all the Meidas Mighty and legal AFers who were approaching Michael Popok with their cases and saying, can you help us? And at that time, Popok was not able to. So he went out on his own. He started the Popok Firm, where he is now handling catastrophic injury cases like car accident cases, trucking cases, malpractice cases, big negligence cases, wrongful death cases. So if you or someone you know have a case like this, the consultation with Popok's firm is free. Give him a call. See if you have a case. It's thepopokfirm.com, thepopokfirm.com, or you can call 877-POPOK-AF, P-O-P-O-K-A-F. So 1-877-POPOK-AF. Give Michael Popok a call. And I'm really proud of you, Popok. Thanks for all the hard work you're putting in. Oh my God, and she's back. Caroline Levitt. Here she is, ready to lie, and she's back. I mean, she was gone for the past 35, 40 days or so. Now she comes back and she goes, and Donald Trump is recovering the economy for everybody. He's made everything. This economy is so good. Dude, just shut up. Who are these? But dude, it's not good. The American people have the worst consumer confidence in the history of the University of Michigan Consumer Confidence Report. Trump has tanked the economy. Inflation is surging. We're going to have interest rate rising shortly. What are you talking about? Here, play this clip.
Inflation back to record highs. President Trump is recovering our economy from those detrimental days under President Biden. That's why Republicans need to retain control of this city so that President Trump can continue to have the support he needs to continue to govern for 2.5 years. Otherwise, Democrats are going to try to block and tackle. They'll be focused on ridiculous, ludicrous impeachment hearings and crazy stuff that don't serve the American public, just like they did in his first term when they were given the keys back to Capitol Hill. We can't let it happen.
More from Hannity. Did I tell you before? Yeah, you did, Hannity. The Democrats, they're the ones obsessed with the reflecting pool, and then they're vandalizing. It's a reflection of their soul. Be quiet. What are you talking about? Play this clip.
Definitely indeed, Kevin. Thanks for that report. Now, tonight, unfortunately, Democrats, they don't seem that interested in peace with Iran. Instead, many on the left, they're now obsessed with something way more near and dear to their hearts, the reflecting pool in Washington, D.C. But they're not obsessed with making the pool look better, our Capitol look better. No, instead, they're rooting for Donald Trump's restoration project to fail. Now, some are even committing, apparently, criminal acts of sabotage. In fact, we're now learning that at least 5 people have been arrested. Here with all the details.
And then Caroline Levitt. Yes, that's right, Sean. Yeah, Sean. The Democrats are vandalizing it, Sean. Who are these? Yes, no one's vandalizing anything. The one who vandalized it, you know who threw feces in it? Donald Trump. Made the thing gross. You want to know how the algae gets there? It's from the Potomac Basin. Your filtration system was horrible. Even if it was good, you're not going to kill all of the algae. That was tried before. You painted the stupid thing blue. That's not going to change anything. Here, play this clip.
All right, Caroline, any more details on the 5 people that have been arrested regarding vandalism here?
The vandalism is very real, despite what Tim Walz wants to say. It's an imaginary problem. No, it is not. It's a very real problem. In fact, I spoke with the National Park Service just before joining the show. They now have 17 police reports that have been filed in just the matter of a few days. There's actually been 6 arrests at the reflecting pool, where, again, these deranged individuals, many of them longtime donors to the Democrat Party, to Barack Obama, to Act Blue, that have been vandalizing and desecrating our federal monument, one of the most beautiful monuments in the world, the reflecting pool. And that's why President Trump is not going to stop with this effort. We're going to not only hold those people accountable, but we're going to fix the pool, continue to make it beautiful from this despicable vandalism just in time to celebrate our nation's 250th birthday next week.
And then Jesse Waters goes, and we've got evidence of vandalism. Here, play this clip.
On the reflecting pool, Trump said that they have evidence of someone slicing and dicing the bottom of the pool. and that evidence will be shown in court. And that we have made 5 arrests, 5 individuals are under investigation, and I'm waiting to see the video evidence of it. Or they botched the redo. Okay, either way, this is all you got on this guy? You guys couldn't even build a charging station.
That's true.
Obama's library, have you seen that? It was like 20 years, $1 billion later, and they stiffed the black contractors, and it looks like garbage, Jessica. And oh my God.
More from Laura Ingraham and Mike Waltz, U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. And Waltz is like, and Iran has promised that they're going to buy the crops from the farmers. So our deal is really about helping the farmers in Nebraska and Iowa and Idaho and Wisconsin, because Iran is now acquiring agricultural produce. And even Laura Ingraham's like, okay, I'm doing my best here, Waltz, with my propaganda, and you're making this idiotic. No one believes that the Iranians are going to buy crops with the money that we're giving them. What are you talking about? This is their talking point. It's the most sociopathic talking point. Iran's not going to be using the $12 billion in unfrozen funds that they just got, as well as the removal of all of these sanctions on their oil and petrochemicals, to say, you know what? We want to do some deals for some corn from the United States. That's what we're going to do. Play this clip.
Could begin lifting those, but in this case, in a classic President Trump deal, yeah, they unfroze some of them to keep Iran at the table, but guess what they're going to buy? They're going to buy American crops, American farmers, soybeans, and other types of agricultural goods and wheat that we're going to dictate what those funds buy, not the Iranians.
I heard that. Yeah, I heard that today from the president. But where is that? That's not in the agreement, that there's going to be farm products. Well, I mean, that sounds fantastic. Adam Smith, that won't surprise you, congressman, was on CNN earlier today saying he just thinks the president, quote, made that up. So where is that memorialized, the idea that Iran will be buying our ag?
Well, I mean, Laura, this is an MOU with just 14 points, the details of which, whether it's where the inspectors can go, when they can go, and under what circumstances, or how we control then these frozen funds are being negotiated right now as we speak. So, the Democrats can hand-wring all they want, but a lot of these details are going to be worked out in those technical talks. The vice president.
And then Fox brings on Susan Collins. And I'm not sure who is giving Susan Collins her talking points, because she's like, I'm a very steady person. I'm very, very steady. And that's why the people of Maine want a real steady hand and a real steady voice and a real steady. I mean, how many times has she said the word steady? Well, obviously she's struggling to even be able to speak right now. And I'm not saying this to mock her. It's just the reality. What are we talking about? Let's play this clip.
No way. I remain a very strong supporter of Israel, the one democracy in the Middle East, our true ally in the Middle East. And I think this sadly reflects rising anti-Semitism in our country that Graham Plattner certainly is part of and has been since his high school days. That's been a consistent theme throughout his entire life. He accuses Israel of committing genocide. He praises Hamas for its tactics in killing Israeli soldiers. This is appalling. And it's important to recognize that AIPAC is made up of Americans who care deeply about our relationship with Israel. Plattner makes it sound like this is some sort of evil foreign influence, and that is absolutely wrong.
Well, we will be covering the race closely, and we are.
And then you have Jesse Waters saying it's a real big problem that the Democrats have, showing blind loyalty to an idiot. How do you show blind loyalty to an idiot? And then Jessica Tarlov is like, that's what you do every day there, Jesse. That's what you do every day there, Jesse. Here, watch this.
That is, I hadn't thought about it that way, Jessica. That makes a lot of sense. or is like blind loyalty to an idiot, does that override that?
Well, you do blind loyalty to an idiot every day. How does it feel?
2 in a row.
I'm just going to leave. I think I'm done for the day, and it's only Monday.
Listen,
like
that
Dana
idiot's
and I.
running circles around you guys. Okay.
All right, whatever. Let's talk about that reflecting pool.
We will.
We will. D-block.
When you vandalized.
There you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers, and thanks for watching, everybody. New Meidas merch. Head to store.MeidasTouch.com today and get yourself the best pro-democracy gear and show your support. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.